Well, despite a couple of Champions League hammerings in the last month or so, we're still up in the fight when it comes to domestic football and the Premier League. We've got three top of the table clashes coming up in our next three matches. And you know what? We're going to focus on the football and show all of them. We've got a gamble today because we've got loads just returning from injury. But I'm hoping if it doesn't work out in this match, it will certainly pay off when it comes to the next two. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 94 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. Look how tight it's getting at the top of the table. 9 points separate the top 9, 3 points separate the top 4. And today we face Liverpool, who are top of the league, United, who are 4th, and Spurs, who are 7th, away from home. This will be a defining week in the Premier League, and I'm gutted that it's fallen on a 3-game week because with a number of injuries we've had, and those just returning to fitness today, we are left a little short in some positions, which doesn't help us. Mauricio has been our most recent goal-scoring hero up front. He's out for this one, as is Jimenez in midfield. There's 3 or 4 others that are just making their return today, but it doesn't look good on a physical front. If you're looking forward to seeing if we can compete in 3 games that I'm genuinely very worried about, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. As you can see from the top right of the screen, we've taken a bit of a gamble, yet again with a Champions League fixture, given a bit of a hammering by Barca, as we were by Bayern in the last episode. But this is what we had in mind, and to be fair, we had to go even weaker against Barca because of players being unavailable. So let's go straight over to the schedule via the transfer screen, just to confirm that that deal we mentioned in the last episode for that young Greek player has been done. He joins on the 1st of January and will become a superstar for this club, as well as being retrained as a central midfielder naturally. Let's go through the schedule though, because we've only had a few games off camera. We've picked up 2 narrow victories in the league, a squeaky one against Newcastle. Memic and Ivanov put us 2-0 up, but with 15 to go, they got one back and they were pressing. Thankfully though, we got a late penalty and Teddy Ivanov did what he does best. Against Chelsea away from home, we were 1 down early. We were getting battered for half an hour. Joaquin Jimenez got injured, but not before he equalised. And Mauricio, not before he got injured, managed to get one as well. And then, do you know what? A really nice moment against Barcelona. Yes, we lost 4-2. Yes, it was a pretty poor performance. But Casey Worcester, the player who was here at the start of the save, moved on to Newcastle, a youth academy product. He came back and got his first goal. Ansu Fati got a hat-trick for Barca. They're still going strong with him and Yamal on the wings. But Worcester and Ivanov, the 2 stars, making it a 4-2 defeat overall. So in the end, November was a pretty good month. We rested everyone for the 2 Champions League games. We got hammered in them. In the league and in domestic football, we have not conceded more than 1 goal in a game yet. Will that change today? I think probably yes. We've got a couple of players who are no longer worried about contracts. So Takat Zuka has ended his unhappiness. Mauricio signed a deal now. So we're getting a few of them back on board. And a couple like Branda no longer unhappy about their game time because we've reduced their squad role, which we always try to manage. But today it's 2nd v 1st. The winner will be top after today's fixtures. If it's a draw, the door opens for the teams below. But this is my worry. Take aside the fact they've still got very good players like Sobozai, Doak, Emery, etc. They've got Meza at centre-half who we tried to sign before. But our biggest problem is in addition to the couple of injuries, we've got Harrison who's not quite fit, Ishmael who's not quite back fit, and then 3 others that are just returning from injury in Berek, Wills and Yocolano. Wills actually got injured last time when he was coming back from injury in a 21s game. So I'm just going to try and get the 3 of them through as many minutes as possible. A lot of the others have played both Wednesday and weekend because we've just not had the players available. So I want to make sure that the likes of Kranjic and Rakowski get a rest. So we're probably going to need them in midweek. This is the 11 we've gone for today though. The first choice back 5 is available. Sadler in goal with Memic, De Angelis the fullbacks, Herbert and O'Day centre-half. Yocolano is back on the right with Takat Zuka in poor form. Adamson flying on the left, and a good job because Vasquez has been appalling. And then Berek is back alongside Bernberg. That new Greek kid can't turn up quick enough. And then I've gone back to the old tried and trusted Wills and Ivanov up front. Kranjic improving in Europe and Hugill doing his job. But ultimately, they're the best 2 strikers we've got. They're the most settled partnership. So they're the two that are going to play today. Not a lot of talk other than the football. We're getting straight into a triple header. And now it's all about action on the pitch. And we start with the battle of the top two. Well, here we are. It's 3 changes for Liverpool. Ben Doak, one of those coming in on the bench. No real familiar names now. They have got Matt Cox, a left winger we tried to sign before. But a lot of that old guard bar Szoboszlai has now moved on. So the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, etc. They moved on with that administration 18 months ago. As you can see, Liverpool have now recovered from that. They've brought down the wage bill. They've brought down the average age. And they've got themselves in good nick. But are we going to be able to keep grinding out results? It's actually among the poorest we've played for 3 or 4 years here this season. We're just finding a way to win matches without looking pretty and without scoring many. Our defensive record's been remarkable compared to normal. And moments like that are not going to harm us at all. Peter Bernberg is becoming a world-class talent. We mentioned the fact that he was a wonder kid. He's getting better and better and better. But now he's starting to deliver. 2 assists in the last one. A big goal there from a free kick. And early doors, he has made it 1-0 to Southend United. And the way we've been defending this season, that could be pretty important. Well, it's been a quiet 20 minutes since as we reach the half-hour mark with Dominik Szoboszlai in possession. Goes all the way back to his keeper and Liverpool play out from the back. Here come Liverpool with Emery, finding Brook. Out to the left-hand side, Memic intercepts it for Ukulano and he can get on the breakaway down the right. Buckley just beats him to it. Costello goes down the line. O'Day heads away as far as Ivanov. And Szoboszlai picks it up in a centre circle. Not the best bit of defensive play. We've often been strong in possession, but not here. As Memic heads away well at the back post, making a real difference having that height there. As Teddy Ivanov cuts in from the right. Bernberg on the second ball for Wills. Support on the right from Ukulano. How long's he got in him? How effective can he be? Ball back to Bernberg is tipped over. Really good counter-attack again. You can see the difference in our play. When Ukulano, Wills and that are coming back into the team, it makes such a difference. But we know they're only going to do 55, 60 minutes at best, as Ivanov finds Berek, who hasn't looked great so far. Probably will be off in January, but better than him going for free after not signing a new deal. The one good thing we can say with 10 minutes to the break, Liverpool yet to have a shot. They've had a few dangerous balls into the box, but otherwise, Southend have been professional here. Well, do you know what? At half-time, I'm absolutely thrilled with that. Yes, the 3 first-teamers that have come back in after injury, they've not been brilliant. They're among the weakest performers here, but they've just given us that stability. And when you've got the quality of Takatsuka, Kranjic on the bench, the experience of Hugill and the exuberance of Rakowski, I'm not that worried about what's to come. But I am worried about making sure I don't give them too many minutes. And we are going to have to be careful with which subs we go for here. Do I go for Kranjic, who's got that heavy match load, or do I go for Hugill? I think on this occasion, we go for Joe. We're also going to go for Ukulano off. He'll be replaced by Takatsuka, who himself isn't fully fit yet after injury. And Berek is the worrying one, because the only sub we have is Rakowski. He's done well in that box-to-box role a couple of times, but needs must at this point. He's the only one who can play there. O'Day's looking nervous, but I'm going to try and give the lads a bit of encouragement when we get back in here because they're playing really well. Maybe they just need to hear it. Let's give them a bit of praise. The final 15 will make a couple more subs. Teddy Ivanov is struggling physically. Another one that's had a lot of injury. And I'm also looking at Adamson on the left. And I'm going to go for Luis Vasquez. So again, not had a great year. Bernberg is going to be the worrying one. But I'm looking at it. While it's not ideal as a replacement, Harrison should be back in midweek. Berek will be fit now, having come off after an hour. We've got enough to get by. With 5 minutes to go, it's very much the same old story. I don't really know how to put my finger on this because we're not doing anything different to before tactically. But maybe just these defenders improving has made a difference because defensively we're a different team. And going forward, we're a far less threatening one as well. Going to move Rakowski to centre mid on defend. We're going to time waste our backsides off. I've said it a lot of times in recent months. If we can get a 1-0 win, it becomes one hell of a result for us, doesn't it? Slow the pace down, no need to counter, and drop that line of engagement. Get me 3 points on the board, and I will be very happy. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go, and there's been no threat on our goal. Another imperious defensive display from Southend United. Not the most exciting game, which is probably good for a triple header. We've played the top of the table clash. We've got 3 points, And when you're not at your best and you haven't got everyone fit, that's all you can keep doing. I'm starting to believe in this side because the final bit of the jigsaw was the defending, and we seem to have sorted it. On to midweek away at Tottenham. Let's see how many of these boys are fit. Well, the fitness test list is very long on Tuesday night. 9 players having a test, but it looks like the majority of them have passed it. So it does suggest that Wills and Mauricio shouldn't both play, and Yucalano only 45. So we'll see what state they're in. We have found out who we're going to be starting our FA Cup defence against. Leeds United, Premier League opposition, but either way, a game we should win. Not been the most fortunate draws we've had in the Cups this season though, has it? Let's get through to the Spurs game and see how we get on and how many of the players are available to start. We have got Bernberg struggling as we expected, but I might just try and get him through it. Memic much the same at right back, but neither have a heavy match load. And again, Joe Wills up front, maybe the one I will do. Again, Mauricio's nowhere near. Harrison's not quite fit. It's all good as saying that Bernberg can't really play, but we've got no one to bring in other than an 18-year-old centre-half. So we're not going to do that, but we are going to bring in Kranjic. We'll go for Ivanov as the target forward, which is the only option. He is 6'1" and good in the air. We're also going to go for... I was tempted to start Takatsuka, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to change the rest. I think we're going to keep it from the bench so it's strong. We were tempted to bring Casey Worcester on, but I think Will's doing 30 minutes or so may actually be helpful for him. And we've obviously got plenty of other talent that can come on too. Cameron Ishmael is the one I would like to get in there because De Angelis has got a heavy match load. So maybe I do that sub, but if I need a goal, he's the man I want on the bench. So I'm going to take off Harrison Parker. We've got a centre-half on there. We're perfectly fine for now. Let's go and get through to Tottenham away. Kranjic is in up front for Wills, which is enforced. And the rest of it is just changes to the bench. Hopefully, the settled side will do well. Or will I regret not resting the fatigued ones? Well, here we are against Thomas Berg and the boys. They've still got Mikey Moore. They've still got Wilfred Nonto up front. And they've got a few very good young players. Ashley Phillips has now become the skipper after developing from the start of the save. But they've got a much younger side than a lot of the other teams. Interesting to see Bino Gittins there, who in our other save, the head coach, ended up in Japan, didn't he? But for now, we're going to get through to the first half. Geertroyd has caused us problems before, but we want to prove a point. We want to keep it tight. I'm not in the business of making exciting football this season. It's about becoming a winning team. And at the moment, after years of entertainment, we do seem to be doing that at last. Chelsea winning their first game after sacking Gennaro Gattuso at the minute. With 10 gone here, it's been very quiet, and long may that continue on the road. Well, a quarter of the game gone, it's been a hopeless one so far. No shots on target for either team, and this is the first highlight, but is it going to be a costly one? Good block by the defender. Drew O'Day throws himself at it, and he keeps it 0-0. Technically, that was on target, but was blocked before it got to the goalkeeper. Bernberg, you can see, is knackered already. It's just about how few minutes can we expose Rakowski to up in midfield. As Adamson's got the corner, can we nick one? Herbert's up. It's going to probably be our main threat today. Ivanov gets the ball in again from out wide. Memic is there. Hits the bar. Crosses and set pieces into the box are definitely our main line of attack. You can see Spurs have been the better side here. We're going to encourage the lads because we're just under 10 to the break. We're staying in it. We're keeping ourselves in the tie. And if we can keep picking up these points, keep the unbeaten run going, and keep this defensive record going, we're going to be in pretty good nick this year. We're going to get towards the hour mark. Then definitely Bernberg and Yucalano will come off. We'll decide what to do with the rest of it. We'll also have some decisions to make with Saturday in mind as Adamson puts the corner in. And there is the set piece delivering. Drew O'Day with his 4th for the season. He's becoming a real threat now. What a change it's been for him. It's been a brilliant season. Developed like crazy during the summer, played an international tournament, and now we've got ourselves a bit of a gem and a couple of subs needed too. On the right of midfield, we're going to go Yucalano off for Takatsuka. Rakowski is the only option in midfield in the middle. Memic at right back is off for Baranda. We knew he was restricted too. And I'll probably give it 10 more before taking off one of the strikers. Super Joe Hugo will get a run out. And I'll probably do Vasquez on the left as well. But let's get to the final 20 minutes or so. Don't want to risk the injuries for too long. So there is the first one. Vasquez on for Adamson. And then it will probably be Teddy Ivanov who's going to have to come off. He's going to be replaced by Joe Hugill. And it means Joe Wills does get the 90 off, which is important. 10 to go. We're going to give the lads some praise. Again, it's been such a solid defensive display. We've become a completely different team this season with no tactical changes. But when we brought in those 2 new fullbacks and O'Day last summer, we mentioned it, didn't we? We wanted to become a bit more solid. It's taken them a while to settle in, and it's taken them a while to improve. But now we're getting there, and we're getting to the stage where it's all about holding on for 0-0s. Same as we did against Liverpool. Defensive fullbacks, supporting wingers, centre mid on defend for Akoski, who's doing a great job covering in midfield there. We're also going to go for the usual stuff, play for set pieces, time waste your backsides off, slow the pace down, don't counter, and drop that line of engagement. Could it be 2 big 1-0s in a row? I mean, even a 1-0 wouldn't be a disaster from here. But from the position we're in, we've done it again. Forget the entertainment I've delivered you on the pitch for 11 years. It's 1-0 to the Southend. We're channeling Distillery from last year. It was a gutsy performance. It was a poor attacking display. But Southend United win 1-0 again. And now we stay top of the table. The double header has gone very well. But now we make it a triple header. Manchester United up next. They're still in charge technically. If they win this, they'll have it in their hands with the game in hand. So let's see how we get on in the final of today's triple header. Surely it couldn't be 3 1-0s. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? For the second time in a month, we've been offered a big job in English football. An interview at Chelsea. We had Newcastle a month or so ago. We're getting the big offers now. We've reached the elite status. But we want to be beating these sides to a title with Southend. Let's go and see if we can do it with just a few hours from kickoff against United. And here we go for fitness test time. Joe Wills, good condition, but fitness test not recommended. Should be monitored. Most of the others look like they're going to make it. Harrison, Ukulano included, but not Joaquin Jimenez, which is a shame. Let's go and have a look, though, at what we can put out today. We're going to have to manage the match load. United pipped us to the title last year. They are the defending champions. They battered us in the Champions League to knock us out of that last season. They beat us in the Community Shield final this year. They pipped us on penalties in the Carabao Cup. They just seem to have the way to beat us in this save. Florian Wirtz, someone we know very well from the head coach at Bayern, a superstar. Mainoo still going. Hoyland still going. Malo Gusto signed from Chelsea. And Verbruggen from Brighton in goal, doing well as well. This is a team that we've had so much trouble with. Let's see who's fit for this one. There's a few struggles still. Bernberg's better than the last game, but not great. We've got to make a decision on Ukulano. Give me a minute, and then we'll run through the team. Well, obviously, I've not gone crazy here. We're not going to rotate much, but I have adapted the team a little. We've brought in Takatsuka on the right for Ukulano. Didn't want him to start 3 in a row. We've gone for Joe Wills back in up front after his rest in midweek. Hopefully, he'll be fresh. Mauricio replaces Hugill on the bench. He's now back after injury. I've had to stick with Berek and Bernberg on the bench, but Alfie Harrison is available to come on today. Him and Rakowski, both there as options now if we need to sub them. And of course, the rest of it is pretty similar. We're starting to get interesting players for January now, so a few threatening to throw their toys out the pram. But this is a pretty strong squad. Just Takatsuka and Wills in for this one. Let's see if the match load catches up. We've got Champions League in the week. We'll play a rotated side. For this one, anything other than a defeat is great now. United, the side we've struggled with the most. And after winning the last 2, a point would be a bonus. Well, it's already been a successful triple header, but will it become a dream one? We mentioned all the players in the United lineup with Arne Slot in charge. They've also got Garnacho still on the bench and Trubin, who we also know from the head coach at Bayern. But let's get through the dressing room. Let's ask the lads to prove a point. Come on, give me one more big push this week, and then you can all have a few days off. We'll get through Galatasaray with the reserve side. Not even going to worry about the Champions League this year. Let's just see if we can do the business. A quiet game again would be lovely. I'm not sure, though, that we're going to keep a clean sheet this time. Well, a very quiet 29 minutes. Liverpool, City and a lot of the other sides in that race are all winning at the moment. And Sadler's made a great save from a free kick. First chance of the game is a set piece. We've got to defend another one here from the corner. We know United can score goals against us. They're the one team that just does it for fun. But Wills heads that one away and Adamson will chase. Does he force his man back? It peters out as Arsenal go ahead as well. And Chelsea are ahead too. All the big boys are winning. With 5 to the break, I would be very pleased with a point here. And yet again, as we get towards half time, No sign of conceding. We're going to have to bring Ivanov off at the break as Takatsuka finds Memic on the right. Ball into the back post. Ivanov up. But Bruggen does really well. It's only a bruise, but I don't want to make it worse. And we'll probably take Bernberg off not long after. But at least if we can get through the stoppage time, it won't count as one of the sub breaks, which we might need later in the game. As De Angelis picks it up on the left to Herbert. Into midfield for Berek. We couldn't do it again, could we? Bernberg picks it up for Wills through to Ivanov. Great football. Oh, could have been a lovely lasting impact on this game. Good save by the keeper, but in truth, didn't really go either side of him, did it? And the strikers just aren't in scoring form, but then maybe that's because they can't stay fully fit. We're a threat from the set piece again. It's back out to the right to Adamson, and he's got the chance to cross, but Malo Gusto does really well. He buys the free kick too. 30 seconds to the break, and now Ivanov will come off. Do we go Kranjic, or do we go for the newly fit Mauricio, who had been in goal-scoring form? Now, Kranjic's in good form here. I'm going to go for him. In good form morale-wise, I mean, rather than quality. There's Minute on the right, early doors. De Angelis thought that was going to be a pen. Oh, that's a lucky goal. That's what it takes against us at the moment. Shot blocked. It just falls into the path of Sarpei. What can you do about that? Not a lot is the answer. Now, we've got to show our fighting spirit. We've not conceded more than one all season. Can we keep that the case here against the champions who are one up? And can we at the same time try and find a route back into this game or to threaten them? As Birchall goes to Nico. Into midfield for Wirtz and now Hoyland. Wirtz again. Through towards Sarpei. They're dominating possession. They look like they've come out a bit better in this second half. Didn't really threaten us in the first, but now they're dominant. Wirtz has got in. And there we go. Oh, it's wide. We've been carved open again. I don't think that record of one goal conceded at most is going to make it to the end of this game. It's another ball in. It's headed away as far as Bernberg. Forward to Berek. Can we counter now? Out to the left to Adamson. He'll be off in a minute. He's getting taken on as well. He gets the ball in early though. There's a man in there. It's a good header, but it's straight over Bruggen. Probably should have beat him from there, to be honest. But we've got another corner. And we're turning a screw again. Adamson towards Herbert. The fighting spirit is still there. Herbert out wide. Inside to Berek. Herbert again. Needs someone to put a cross in, but it's back to O'Day. Now Memic. Chance to take on his man. Hoyland wins it. Takatsuka on the right. He's had a quiet game as well. Might change both wingers. I want to keep the fitter ones on if possible. Berek finds Adamson. Through to Kranjic. Hits the post. Oh, it was so close. We're going to take off on the right-hand side. In fact, we'll leave him for now. We'll do Adamson for Vasquez. We'll do Berek off for Alfie Harrison. Do I just change the whole midfield? I think I'm going to Yukalano off the right. And we'll go Rakowski in centre mid. In fact, I'm going to leave the right winger for now. I'm going to leave it 5 minutes. Fresh legs in the centre. We'll leave Takatsuka 5 more. You can see from the match stats here, it's actually been a good performance. We've been the better side here. We've not found a way to get through. And now, Yukalano is going to be the super sub. 15 minutes to get through. Can we find an equaliser? You know we love a late goal. But this is Manchester United, the side we struggle with the most. We're going to encourage the boys. And as we get to 90, we're going to go attacking. We're going to go for it. We'll risk the defensive record. But the day becomes a story of 1-0s. 2 that we started on the right side of. Brilliant results against Liverpool and Spurs. But it's Manchester United again. The only side in this country we don't seem to be able to get the better of. They win 1-0. They go level on points with us with a game in hand. And the title race, it looks like again, might be featuring the same 2 teams. Let's go and look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. But overall, 6 points from that. We've got to be really pleased. It's a cracking effort. Well, there we go. A 12-game unbeaten run. It comes to an end in the league. We've won 11 of them in a row as well. Our last defeat was against Manchester City. It's the Manchester clubs that are getting the better of us. However, we are doing well defensively. We've still only conceded 1. And our defensive record is becoming a talking point. Let's have a look at the schedule because I think Manchester City are going to feature next time out. We're going to keep on the trend of showing the big Premier League games and the big sides at the top. Everton are 7th, away from home, they're always a tough game. And then Manchester City at home in 4th, one of the 2 teams to beat us this year. That's going to be the double header. Again, just 3 days apart over the festive period. If you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy this one, please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you think has caused this big shift in results, because tactically we've changed nothing, but it seems to be the 1-0 and the low scoring games are going to be our speciality this year. Is it just the lack of fit strikers? If we had them fully fit, would we be battering teams, or would our defence then suffer? I don't know. And if you want to stay up to date and find out, as hopefully we do get fit strikers at some point, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Looking forward to the Greek superstar joining us for the City game. Another player will probably go out in his place. But for now, we've got a rare day off from the videos tomorrow as we prepare for a brand new series starting on Sunday. So back with Southend in 2 days' time. Before Sunday and Monday, see the first 2 episodes of our alternate head coach save. We finished our experiment series yesterday with the viewer's request, and that one is up in the eye above. You can also find links there to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, where we've got loads of predictions for all the EFL playoffs. But of course, as always, thank you very much for watching and for being here as always. I do appreciate it. I'll see you back here next time for 2 more big top of the table clashes in this Premier League season.